Now moves in, shake and bake, driving from 12. Oh, what a nice touch! Flies through the air and puts it in for his 8th point, and the Hawks maintain a 10-6 lead with 1:50 in the first period. Ames with the basketball. Hoiberg looks left, goes right, tries to drive. Ball is not.
Nobody picked him up, and he tried to pass the ball before anybody stopped him. He should have kept going and pulled up and shoot.
WSR leads with 6:23. Here's Bergman back, shake and bake, baseline right. It was so pretty, and it goes through, and it's 12 points for Mike Bergman.
Yeah, there. As soon as he puts the ball down, there's 3 white jerseys going for him.
17-9. Hawks up by 8 with 6 and 11 in the second period. Gabrielson goes on the right wing position to Hansen. Fakes left, comes back right, pitches out in front. Gabrielson tries to penetrate. Ball stolen by Ott. Hits Bridges on the fast break. Will David take it in? He does, and he scores!
All right, a nice one.
Waverly-Shell Rock now leads by 10, 19-9. Ames with the basketball, mishandled, baseline. Gabrielson out of bounds as he drove in for the basket, partially possibly tipped by Andy Ott or Bridges, and Ames wants timeout. And we'll take a timeout, too, with a 19-9 WSR lead. We'll be back to 9 points. Running slower down, run the offense. Ott, left side, Michael, he doesn't want to slow, goes baseline, they give it to him, underhanded pump, no good, ball squirts out. Ott saves it on the rebound, free throw line right. Right side running, feeds back into Mike Bergman. Ball is rejected. Renning returns back to Bergman. Bergman in the paint, takes it to the basket, lays it up over everybody. Basket's in. He is fouled. Mike Bergman scores.
He wants it tonight. You can tell it. He wants it tonight. He's taking her.
You give him the ball, he is going to penetrate and go as far as you'll give him, and then he'll try to get an inch more before he passes off. Timeout called by Ames, and they need it. 43-20. Hawks lead with 4:40 remaining. For his 21st point in the game, and Waverly-Shell Rock now leads 44-20. Ames with the basketball. Now to his left, 2 dribbles, bounce pass inside, ball knocked loose by Bergman. Cavanaugh recovers, baseline left, 15-footer, and he rings the bell. First 2 points of the evening for Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh recovers, baseline left, 15-footer, and he rings the bell. Bounce pass inside, ball knocked loose by Bergman. Cavanaugh recovers, baseline left, 15-footer, and he rings the bell. First 2 points of the evening for Cavanaugh of Ames, and it's 44-22, go Hawks. Heavy pressure. Michael dribbles through it all. Comes across the timeline. Change of pace. Takes it coast to coast. Bounce past Nelson. Breaks to the basket. Lays it in on the feed.
Well, I'll tell you, he's doing it all. Taking the ball down the floor versus the press. Getting assists. Rebounding. Playing defense. Putting the ball in the hole.
Man's giving a clinic, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Here's Hoiberg. Left side. Baseline. Brings it back out. Pass goes in the middle. Turnaround jumper in the paint. It's off the rim, and it is in. Steve Klein in the ball game. First time we've seen Klein. On 2, fast break, comes back opposite end. Here's Joel Nelson inside. Oh, he lays it above the rim. It hangs there for an eternity and drops forward.
Nice.
The basketball career of Mike Bergman has been very fulfilling up to this point. Prior to coming to Iowa State, this 6'8" forward had an outstanding high school career at Waverly-Shell Rock. He led the Go Hawks with a 24-point-per-game average and helped them achieve a 10-0 record and advance into the state tournament. His all-around skills also earned him the distinction of being selected Mr. Basketball of Iowa, an honor given out to the best high school senior in the state, which is voted on by a 16-member committee of the Iowa News Association.
Being selected Mr. Basketball was definitely a great honor, and I'm real proud, and I worked hard for it, and I'm just glad things like that have happened.
One of the pinnacles in your high school career had to be when you got to play the Soviet Union. You represented the Iowa AAU team, and you played both in Des Moines and you traveled to the Soviet Union. What was that like over there?
That was a great experience, you know. Big, strong players, you know, a little bigger than I was used to in high school, and it helped me prepare maybe for college. And then we went over to the Soviet Union, and that was, you know, the same, playing against a little older and more mature players. I think I benefited, and I was a little more ready to play against the college players.
During his career in high school, Mike was coached by his father, Norm, who was a member of the Cyclones in 1958 and 59. Although his father wanted him to become a Cyclone, Mike says he made up his own mind to attend Iowa State.
Deep in his mind, he would have really liked to see me come to Iowa State and continue after he did. And really, I think it wasn't that tough a decision for me because he played at Iowa State is just something I wanted to do. I really like the coaching staff, and the crowd at Hilton Coliseum is incredible. And I thought the experience, I couldn't pass it up.
This year, Mike was given the option of redshirting, and he decided it would be in his best interest and would also make him a better ball player in the future.
Coach Orr put the decision up to me, so I actually decided that I wanted a redshirt. And I thought it would, benefit me in the long run, because this year maybe I could have got some time, maybe 10 minutes a game, less maybe. And I just figured that my 5th year here at Iowa State would be a lot more productive than this year would.
Off the court, Mike has been just as successful in the classroom. He was a member of the National Honor Society for the past 2 years, and he's looking forward to continuing his scholastic success at Iowa State.
Yeah, I really want to do well in school too, so that after I'm through, that I'll have, maybe a career will come out of it. And I try to work hard in school because, my basketball is paying for this, and I don't want to blow the opportunity.
Even though Mike will not see any playing time at all this season, he is still one of the hardest workers during practice. He really goes all out from the moment he steps onto the court until it's time to hit the showers.
I'm using this year as an improvement year, coming in here with the guys, and they're teaching me a lot, and I just try to work hard every day and improve so that next year I'll be ready to play.
Even though 1990 will be a year of learning and waiting, Mike says he's glad that he decided to redshirt.
I think my time's going to come. This is going to pay off.
With a look at freshman Mike Bergman, this is Jeff Connor reporting for the Johnny Orr Show.
Great student, great player, and may contend for a starting spot next year.
3.3 or 4 student, and tough classes, and he's going to contend. He's going to be a great player here, and this year I think is going to be a good thing. He graduated from high school. You can see those pictures. 195. Well, he's 219 now. He's much stronger. He can shoot the ball. He can pass it, and next year he'll play 25 minutes a game at least, I think. He's a great, he's going to be a super player.
Mike Bergman. Well, don't go away. There's more of the Johnny Orr.
Number 35, Mike Bergman, redshirted last year after being chosen Mr. Basketball for the state of Iowa during his senior year at Waverly-Shell Rock. The 6'8" forward waited a long time for this season to start, and when it did, Bergman showed a lot of promise. That's when the freak injury happened. Bergman broke his left wrist against Northern Iowa, and he's been out of action ever since.
Well, at first it was really tough, and I think overall it's probably, it's been a negative thing, but I've gotten some positive things out of it. I think it might be a motivating factor if I get a chance to come back this year. I think I'll really be ready to play because I've sat out and had to watch for so long. Also, it's given me a chance to work on my right hand, which is a little weak before the injury.
Ironically, a similar injury to Phil Coons helped get Bergman more playing time earlier in the season. Cyclone fans remember Bergman knocking down a big three-pointer late in the game against Iowa.
It was a big game, and it was unfortunate that we lost it, but I felt I came in and I rebounded well, and I made a three-pointer at the end of the game, which was kind of crucial. I thought it could have been a shot that could really put us up and maybe win the game, but we had some things go wrong at the end. But overall, I thought I was happy with my performance, even in the loss, that I was starting to play a little better.
Bergman hasn't written this year off by any means, but with the Cyclones losing several key big men, you can understand why he's already looking forward to next year.
We're going to need some people to step in and fill those roles, obviously, and I think we have some guys in this team that can do it, and I think we have some newcomers coming in that have proven themselves that I think will come in and be a positive addition to the team. So it's going to be a blow losing those guys, but I think, we can't replace them. We can't have another Victor Alexander, but I think that we can find somebody else.
And that can't come too soon for Mike Bergman, a player with a lot of talent who's having to wait a long time to show it. Reporting for the Johnny Orr Show, I'm Keith Murphy.
When's he going to be back, John?
Well, he's going to be back for this next game.
Next game?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
When we go to Okie State, we may slip him in there.
All right. Well,
I'd like to see him bust about 6 of those three-pointers.
I was just thinking of something. Down the road here, Let's see.
Penetrations in one-on-one that have hurt a little bit more.
And of those 12 from Earl, 6 have come from the free throw line. He's 6 of 10 from the stripe. Pearson brought in to get it in.
They got
Hoiberg now to McCoy.
I was going to say Iowa State had numbers. McCoy chose not to take it down strong.
Good ball handlers out there. Meyer being pressured. Remember now, Iowa can really put the pressure on with only 5 team fouls.
Yeah, there's a good chance, right? You mentioned it, Dave. Go for it. Go for steal. Take a chance, because Iowa State's going to run it for one shot.
And we'll see the time remaining in the first half.
There's a little back cut.
There's one. And pretty much at the buzzer, Bergman will give Iowa State the lead going into the locker room. From Justice Thigpen to lead the way for Iowa State as they lead by.
The Hawks leaves it short, and right there to put it back is Rodell Davis, and the game is tied at 2.
Al Barnes, knowing Victor Alexander is not a great shot blocker, just a total of 6 on the year, challenges him, makes Alexander come to him. 2 fouls on Victor. He's going to have to go out. As we said, the replacement situation has changed. It's now Bergman rather than Phil Coons coming in.
And of course, not only do you lose the size of an Alexander, but also the experience. Bergman off the bench, a redshirt freshman from Waverly, Iowa, where he played for his dad. Bud Bergman, and the rebound is taken by Bergman.
And Iowa has Chris Street get in. Did not play in the first game back from the 2-game layoff that he had.
He played the opening 2, in fact, started those, then the suspension. Missed 3 on the suspension. 1 he was eligible for and didn't play. AC Earl, 28th block of the year, first of this game.
And Iowa now has gone to zone. You can look to see if they're going to try and pack it in or whether they'll extend and come out to the shooters.
Cyclones have missed their last 4 shots after hitting a bunch to start the game. Now Collins leaves it short, and the rebound taken down by Davis. Getting in the way, Collins. And who's got it? Hot potato time, and the Hawkeyes come up with it. Barnes.
This is really a rough physical game, more physical than we've seen any time earlier this year, Larry.
Barnes has 8 of the Hawks' 12. Iowa State with the ball and an 8-point lead. Pearson. Iowa State has now missed 6 in a row. Thigpen tries to change that and does. Sophomore letterman from Flint, Michigan, averaging in double figures at 10 a ball game, gives the Cyclones a 10-point lead. Moses misses the 3. He is fouled, however. Thigpen with the personal. It will be his first and the Cyclones' 3rd. Alexander with those 2 fouls and come right back in, Mac, as Johnny Orr didn't think he could spend a lot of time with Alexander on the bench.
I think also he's short substitutes. He's coming in with Dorfeld, moving Bergman over to the power forward position. So he's got to rotate some players at the pace this game is going. And again, the Iowa team really has 11, 12 players deep that they can go to with Street returning. It adds a lot of flexibility for Tom Davis.
Here we see a new rule in college basketball this year. You get fouled on a 3-point attempt, you get 3 free throws. Ironically, Johnny Orr was telling us earlier today he hadn't seen that in a game that he'd been involved in all year, just once on TV. Now he's seeing it, much to his chagrin, right in front of his bench.
And Moses had not shot well from 3 points. Now goes the opportunity to boost that free throw average up there. And he gets all 3.
He's been only 12 of 23 from the free throw. Dorfeld pressured by Skinner. What?
I'll tell you, that's an alert job by the Iowa bench. Tom Davis and the assistants catching that, making sure it's corrected.
Thigpen leaves it long. Webb with the rebound, and Jay's got a bundle of them in this first half. Barnes hits the shot. It will count, and he will go to the line. A chance at a three-point play.
That is just a super job, being able to go ahead and control your body. Moses leading the break. And again, Moses maybe last year would have taken a shot out of control. This time he gives it up. And notice Barnes turning his body, turning that right shoulder, protecting the ball, going up strong. Moses the assist.
Val Barnes having his best half as a Hawk, 7 of 11 from the floor, 14 points.
And that may be Iowa's first assist in this game.
Skip McCoy comes into the lineup for Iowa State at point guard. Brian Pearson has just drawn his 3rd foul, so he will leave. McCoy, a freshman out of Gary, Indiana. 15 first half points for Barnes, his season high 20 a week ago tonight against Creighton.
And the Iowa State people really like McCoy's quickness.
Hasn't provided an offensive punch yet. In fact, has scored just 2 points in their first 7 games. But he scored 19 a game in high school. They figure he will soon. Here's Skinner. So the Hawks have scored 4 points in a row to bring it back to within 5. Dorfeld on the drive.
Troy Skinner just gets run over at midcourt by Thigpen. And those two are discussing it right now, and officials in between them.
Skinner, Collins, and Thigpen all discussing this confrontation. There it is right there.
No foul called.
And there was the foul. A.C. Earl fouling Dorfeld. But Tom Davis is absolutely livid that the officials did not catch the collision just beyond the midcourt line.
The ball had rolled off the court. The officials went over to shoot a free throw. Couldn't find a basketball. This game does lack some continuity.
But it certainly does not lack intensity. Tom Davis doesn't get perturbed often, but when he does, you know about it.
Yeah. I would certainly understand that last call, or no call.
Cyclones go up by 6 on the Dorfeld free throw. Dorfeld coming off the bench against Baylor on Wednesday night. Did a nice job off the bench. 10 points and 6 rebounds. Where he will miss a free throw.
Jay Webb just gets better and better every game, every rebound.
We're all trying to get around that guarding him, Dorfeld, when he does. A.C. Earl looks up for the first time, or one of the few times, doesn't see Victor Alexander in front of him, and he puts it down. To the final minute of the first half, down to 49 seconds.
And Iowa will obviously get the ball back once again.
The shot clock now at 25 and the game clock at 39, so Iowa could have it if Iowa State uses the whole shot clock with about 14 seconds to go in the half. And it looks like the Cyclones will do just that. Shot clock's at 13. The shot clock is at 5. Collins wanting to ad-lib. Skinner fouls and disagrees with the call. And so do the Hawkeye partisans. Troy Skinner with his first foul.
A dig-in attempt right there by Skinner. Val Barnes had dropped down. Clock gets under 15. Skinner gets leather on that one. On the outside of that ball. Certainly didn't look like he came across the arm. That's one good thing young people ought to look at. Don't go across the arms. Try and just see daylight. Try and just find the ball. And he stripped it from the outside, looking in.
Cyclones will get one more opportunity. Too tall for Chappelle, and so the Hawkeyes will get one more opportunity with not much time left. Now Hightower goes flying.
And you can do the
screener Looking Bill out, his second best screener, Paul Lust. Both of them out for the year.
Bergman in for Alexander. Alexander needing the rest, and so Bergman comes off the bench. 11:45 left. That's Skip McCoy, who's got a lot of responsibility on his shoulders now with Pearson in foul trouble. Here's Moses left open on one of his favorite spots on the floor. Second bucket for Moses, 7 points in the game. Cyclone lead is reduced to 5.
Now you see Chris Street at the back of the press playing playing the post position. He had been a power forward most of the year.
Putting the follow through, Mike Bergman. His first basket, but it's a big one in this game. A 7-point lead for Iowa State. Barnes connects again. He has been outstanding from both inside and outside.
Iowa State lost Val Barnes. I don't know how you can lose a guy that's scoring 20 points.
And that equals his career.
At the back of the press, playing the post position, matching up with Bergman.
Which means that while Alexander is resting, A.C. Earl is resting.
And both of them needed it. They were tired people out there.
There's McCoy in at the point with Pearson on the bench with 4 fouls. Shot clock is down to 16 for the Cyclones. Shot clock's at 8. The shot clock is at 3. Collins knows it.
And Iowa State gets to start all over again.
Bergman keeping the rebound alive, missing the shot. Kevin Smith now pushing up the floor for the Hawks, who trail by 5. Street offensive rebound and bucket. And he is fouled and the basket will count. Chris Street, his first Hawkeye basket.
And that's what he needed to do, become more aggressive. Smith looking for the 3. His foot just slips over the line. It would have been a 2, but Street continues to come directly at the basket, get himself in rebounding position. And the Waverly native, Bergman, says, what foul?
And that for Bergman would be his second. Street.
Under the pressure of the game. Iowa with a lot of inexperience, Larry, excuse me, while Iowa State more experience.
Alexander out, but Pearson, who plays with 4 fouls, of course, is now on the floor, has been for a couple of minutes for Iowa State. Hawkeyes losing Val Barnes for that ankle injury. And there is a foul called. Earl that time battling with Bergman. AC picks up the personal.
I'll tell you, that time AC is trying to establish position. This has just been a very rugged interior game.
Third foul on Earl. Hawkeyes 4 as a team, Cyclones 5 as a team. 5:05 to go. It is really rough. Big Ten will wait for the Cyclone offense to come down. Bergman rebounds the miss by Pearson. And a foul spotted on the Hawks. Moses that time trying to get to the basketball. Dishes to Earl. And AC will get a chance at the line. Never led in this game. Earl wants the ball over Bergman. And a half now, and 10 in the game for A.C. Earl, and it's a 2-point game. This is Collins.
Iowa State had a 2-on-1 break, but A.C. Earl back there makes them think about it.
Just like last year's game, Mac, could be determined on the final shot. A great rivalry between these two.
The game the last 4 or 5 minutes has finally gotten a rhythm. Up till then, it was very hard to find out and establish a good rhythm to this game.
Shot clock's at 8. Bergman will take it with a shot clock at 5. The three by the big guy. Mike Bergman at 6'8", hits from a three-point range, and it's a big bucket for the Cyclones to go up by 5. And now time and number of possessions really becomes a factor. Iowa can ill afford to squander a possession without a score. And Wilp will go to the line. Alexander has fouled for the 3rd time.
That he's been called for.
That's what the official score has. 3 fouls on Victor Alexander. A lot of people would tell you that there have been more, huh?
There's been a lot of banging on the inside. A good dump pass by A.C. Earl there. And a good foul, that time by Iowa State. And the Hawkeyes have to go man-to-man.
And they trap and they force the jump ball, and the possession arrow will give it to the Hawkeyes. Big defensive stand by Iowa. They get the ball back, trailing by 3.
Once again, the quickness. Kevin Smith makes the man pick up the dribble, a double team, and the man brings the ball down, doesn't step through it. Tied up. Now Iowa, as Iowa State goes to zone, they're going to protect, make Iowa look for that three-point shot.
Barnes for 3. It's tied up.
Oh, is that some kind of player?
What a final 5-minute player Val Barnes has become already in his young Hawkeye career, just this week alone. The shot clock is...
Got 10 seconds difference, Larry, on the shot clock.
So the Cyclones will have to shoot, and Iowa will get another possession.
You're looking at the game clock.
About an 8-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Cyclones want a timeout. There will be 15 on
12 apiece.
A.C. Earl steals for Iowa. The Hawks have the possession, and they can take the last shot. And A.C. Earl, a huge steal for Iowa.
Who is maybe Iowa's quickest offensive player with the basketball. He'll try and go get it. Then he will have options. I would say now, whether he wants to go ahead and take it or find Val Barnes. And here comes Val looking. Clock's going down to 10 seconds.
Smith takes the shot. Davis fights for the rebound, and Iowa still has it. Hawks ball, 4.2 seconds left in regulation.
Rodell Davis is the key man. He triggers it. Iowa has 2 timeouts. If he doesn't like what he sees, Rodell can still take a timeout for Iowa to reset it.
And again, he cannot move.
Smith is out, Troy Skinner in. 2 shooters on the perimeter for Iowa.
Here is Val Barnes for the game winner. The tip is good by Rodell Davis at the horn, and the Hawkeyes have won.
It is a win. I was waiting to see if the officials were going to count it or not. Hawkeyes win it on the tip. Val Barnes missed shot.
To 11, Northern Iowa. Mark Chappelle into the game at a guard. And he's flipped to the ball by Turner. Turner's going for the easy layup.
Turner can pick your pocket anytime. Very good defensive position. He stays low. You turn, he'll flick the ball from behind and be able to get it.
4 turnovers by the Cyclones, and the Panthers have an 11-point lead with 10 minutes to go in the half. And the crowd is into this game now.
Good help that time by Nick Pace.
Excellent help. And that ball will be played out to the Cyclones. The crazies are out tonight, no doubt about it, Matt.
Victor, back in the game. You've got to get your offensive force back in. 3 for 3. Played without him and kind of likes it. Without the higher socks, just had his golf socks on.
26-20, Northern Iowa leading it at 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go. We're live from the Unidome in Cedar Falls tonight. Looks like a good crowd, Mac. We're pretty close to that 15,000. Byron Young in the game now, the true freshman from Iowa City High.
has had some good moments and some disappointing moments, as Eldon Miller had said, but of course, as a freshman, that will happen. Ooh, they will not count that, and that is too bad because that may have gone. The Panthers had 2 points taken away there.
Tough break for Northern Iowa.
No basket.
Cedric McCullough flew through the lane and had his hands already over that cylinder.
And a few seconds ran off the clock. And Jim Hallahan was off the bench right away to point it out to Steve Olson, the official. Now Eldon Miller is going to go talk with the officials. And we already see 7 seconds put back on the clock. 4 minutes, 48 seconds to go.
Nick Pace doing a good job forcing up over 3 Cyclone players. And like I said, it looked like it could have still spun around, gone against the glass and in.
Looked like McCullough was going for the dunk, but the ball wasn't there. Nick Pace from the free throw line, 50% shooter. And we'll get one more.
And of course, the Panthers as a team, excellent free throw shooting team, 76%.
One shot.
And Victor Alexander, you know, not disappointing all the fans here in this game. 7 for 7 from the field, 6 rebounds, a block shot as another brick went up that time.
Mike Bergman brings down the rebound. Skip McCoy comes back the other way. The Cyclones looking to cut the margin to at least 4. Alexander takes it in. It's the closest they've been since it was 17 to 11. And Bergman for 3. Mike Bergman connects. A redshirt freshman from Waverly. And that's his first 3-point basket of the year. We'll check on that. And it's Iowa State's first 3-pointer. That's his second 3-pointer of the year.
He had a big one against Iowa right at the top of the key in that Iowa State-Iowa game.
That's right.
And the comeback now by Iowa State. They've gotten it again with McCoy at the point guard position.
Pearson, I don't think, has taken a shot tonight, has he, Mac?
No, he hasn't.
Back out to Collins, over to McCoy. Now Bergman lifts. Moving the ball well, which is what Johnny wanted. McCoy misses. Alexander kept it alive and gave McCoy the second shot.
And I thought that was the best movement by the Cyclones so far tonight. Good ball movement, good reversal.
And that's exactly what Johnny Orr wants out of his team. He wants that ball reversal. He wants that movement.
Because what that allows is Victor Alexander to just have to move 10 or 12 feet across the lane to seal his man off. Iowa State's defense become much more aggressive. They've really come out, started to check people. That got them back into the game, as well as the rebounding edge. 14 rebounds for the Cyclones, just 7 for the Panthers.
And actually, it's the Panthers that have been out rebounding their opponents on a pretty consistent basis this year, although the Cyclones did very well against Iowa, their rebound margin is -3. Cedric McCullough into the game with Brad Hill, Maurice Newby, Dale Turner, and Nick Pace. Newby open for the 3, his third one of the night. Again, he leaves it a little bit short. Rebound to Skip McCoy. Gets the Cyclones running, but does not have the numbers. Pulls it back out.
I've really been impressed with the Cyclones trying to get that ball inside. They have not taken near as many outside shots as they have in some of the earlier games.
Pearson is really looking to get it into Alexander, which he did there. Now Pearson is open for his first shot of the night, a 3-pointer, and he connects.
And that's when you take that shot, what they call inside out. Get that ball inside, let him kick it back out. That's when you can be open.
The turnover, the ball will go back to the Cyclones.
And again, the best defender right there for the Clones. Howland doing a good job on Brad Hill. Brad Hill, who has played some point guard, has ball handling skills, just loses it on the spin move.
He's had a little bit of problems with turnovers this year.
Boy, another steal right there by Turner. He's got the quick hands. He wants a starting job back.
It certainly does. Now the Panthers are going to be a little more patient. Need to get some good minutes out of Nick Pace tonight. I'm sure that that's one thing that Eldon is going to really be looking to see.
And right now you can just see Iowa State has taken you and I out of their offense. They cannot execute, trying to come over the top Nobody steps out that time. Victor hits him afterwards.
And count it. Victor with this incredulous look on his face. That could be a big play for the Panthers. They were trailing by 2. It's now.
Victor just bumps into Maurice Newby, no question about it. He tried to hold him up, making an excuse me foul, but the official says, no, you still got him.
We're all tied at 28.
Low-scoring game, no question.
It certainly is. 2 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the first half. Dale Turner will play the ball inbounds for Northern Iowa. Good game so far, Mac.
Very
We've
good.
seen intensity on both sides. Pace takes it up, is met once and met twice, that time by Bergman, but Bergman will pick up the foul that time.
You've got to play this game in traffic. If there's anything that's a real key from, say, the high school level to the Division I level, it's catching the ball in traffic and then scoring in traffic. People are going to get bumped. There are going to be fouls, and they aren't going to be called. You've got to be able to score in that heavy traffic area.
Pace, a 50% shooter, connects that time. It's his first free throw of the night after 2 straight misses, and he connects both. 30-28, Northern Iowa.
A little hand checking there by Dale Turner. He's going to have to watch that. They'll call it.
Again, the Cyclones moving well on offense. Pearson inside out. Misses the 3 that time. It'll be Panther basketball. Northern Iowa with a 2-point lead and the ball. With about 1 minute, 26 seconds to go in this first half from the Unidome.
Dale Turner, truly an unforced turnover. You don't see that often, especially out of a point guard with the experience of Turner. Just went off the inside part of his shoe. Good defense by Brian Pearson to make him try and make that move between his legs.
With the point guard, timing is so important, and coming off an injury, it can't be real easy to get back into the swing of things right away. Bergman with the 3.
I'll tell you, he's got to feel at home right here in the Dome. Living up at Waverly, he's been down to UNI camps. He's played in the summer here in the Dome.
And he's got a pair of 3-pointers in this game and gives the Cyclones a 31-30 lead as Dale Turner misses. Nice rebound by Jones underneath. Fighting for Cedric McCullough, and he loses the ball, and that's probably going to go against Alexander.
The big guy is going to get that one.
One thing about Alexander, as physical as he is inside, he hasn't fouled out.
Right there, just a reach from behind. Alexander got him then, and a little over the back action if he didn't get him the first time.
Alexander would get a lot more fouls called against him if he wasn't so big and didn't move. I mean, you know, when you bang into him, you don't move. You don't move him.
I really believe in that theory. You know, Coach Hallahan, Coach Orr were talking about that with Johnny saying, you know, Victor gets the ball and maybe moves into somebody. They bounce around, so they may call him for a charge. At the other end, the same thing happens. He's not allowed to move around defensively.
McCullough's first trip to the line is successful. He has made 13 out of 13 free throws this year, so he hasn't missed yet. And we said that after he made it. Didn't want to jinx it.
Again, Iowa State, much better movement at the offensive end of the court. Good cuts, backdoor cut there.
That was taken away by McCullough down court. Nice pass. Turner misses the shot. Now in this one, are they going to call goaltending?
I believe they are. Dale Turner does a little hesitation move, and they're calling, I think, Bergman for slapping the board. I believe that was the call. I didn't see anybody get the rim area.
Yeah. 34-31, Iowa State with 22 seconds left. The shot clock is off. Cyclones going for one last shot before the half. The crowd is on its feet. Trailing by 3.
And you can be sure UNI wants to put good pressure on this last shot in the first half.
Newby almost caught out of position, gets the steal. Now Turner down court quickly to McCullough, who turns at the buzzer, just misses the 3-pointer. And Mac, we're at halftime. For our score, Northern Iowa 34, Iowa State 31. And we'll be back with halftime activity.
Look at that. Same thing again. Back. see?
The ball's bouncing the wrong way.
Just not doing it right for us. There's a good change of hands, laid it up. Good play there again. See, making them all. Last night, 2 for 12. Isn't that awful? Those are not easy shots he's making there, but he's a good player, I think, but he didn't have a good night. And then Johnson gets in a fight with Alexander, and they're both suspended for a game.
Yeah, that happened at Oklahoma State.
We don't play either one of them.
There's Pippett. He's been playing good off the bench.
Pippett's giving us a good lift. You know, he's aggressive. There's another one, see? Once you get it flowing, they had it going here, and they just come off the big win at Kansas. They were really fired up. Look at that. Yeah, that's a long NBA shot there.
That's about a 23-footer.
Yeah.
Bayless has been hitting threes.
Yeah, it wasn't that we were so bad. There's Mike Bergman now starting to come on a little bit for us, see? Hits a couple, and he got another one in there. That was the last basket of the game. But they came in here very aggressive, and we were not aggressive enough. We were down in this game for some reason or other. It was a sort of a downer, Coach, and I can't tell you why, but we were.
Is there any truth to winning at home 15 times in a row, that maybe that makes your team start thinking that the building is going to help win the game?
Oh, sometimes. I think last year, my team would rather played away from home last year. They felt pressure because they would lose at home. This year, I don't think that's been the case at all, no.
Well, Cyclones bounce back with a strong performance against Missouri. We'll have highlights of that game next on the Johnny Orr Show. After the loss to Nebraska, next up at home at Hilton was Missouri. And, Coach, what did you say to your team before this ball game?
Well, I told them this was a 6th-ranked team in the country. We played a heck of a game down there, and I thought we could beat them here at home with a great effort. And we had a great effort. We just turned it over, like I said, a couple times, 4 times. It was unforced, and then we got a bad call down the stretch. But we played a good basketball game, and we still had opportunities to win this game. We didn't quite do it. But it was against a good team, and Norm's got a very fine team. They're playing very well right now. So we just got to bounce back at Oklahoma.
I noticed you've gone to your bench with some different combinations the past couple of games. We've seen a lot of Bergman, and Pippett's played a lot. Pearson's been in there. What are you trying to do when you make a move like that to bring in a Pippett or a Bergman?
Well, they played well in practice. They're playing better. They're hustling. Bergman's really been hustling. He's really, I'd say 3 of the last 4 practices, he's been an outstanding player. So we feel you get in the game, he deserves an opportunity. And he's hit 4 3-pointers. And
important.
Freddie hit another one. Baylor's got another steal, and down to Howard. We were moving along pretty good.
Missouri is just really tough inside on the boards.
Yeah, they're really in there. Strong.
Jeff Warren had maybe his best game of the season.
Yeah, see, Lauren, he was up too high then.
Nice touch by the big guy there.
He made 3 nice baskets. He makes a good basket. There's he made a move there. He made a bad play there.
Nice pass by Bayless.
That was great. That was a good basket, boy. We were right on that guy, and big.
Here's Bergman.
There's Bergie. Popped her in there. That's a nice
22
shot.
feet there. He was way out.
That was a great play with justice to Freddie, and Freddie was really moving, filling the lane. That goes up to Pierce. Oh, well, that was a little traveling music, Coach.
This is Bergman out of Iowa State, just transferred in a few weeks ago. This is Gardner down low, and his first bucket of the day. That's the penetration Richie Glass was looking for.
Exactly, and they're going to get that from Bergman as well. Bergman can shoot outside as well as inside, and Bergman is almost a guard out there in a way.
Harris, Wenslaw got the paint. He'll throw up the 3-pointer. Bart Manson over the back. That's going to be on Wenslaw.
You know, those two are battling in there, and, you know, this could almost be a foul situation cropping up on the inside. We might have 2 of our big players out of the game early, maybe.
You saw Bart Manson there, 0 for 4 from the field in his start against the Sioux, and we've yet to see Willie Mundine. The dish, back to Gardner. This is Barlow. Gardner down low to Goldseth. Double teamed, it won't go. Loose ball. Good score to the Bison. Hartman will check in for Winchlaw. They're trying to get it to Goldseth down low.
That's a patented move by the Sioux. They do that lob over the top, and I'm surprised that's not a foul.
Rob Stefanowicz to Hartman. Man-to-man defense for North Dakota. They've yet to use any zone today. This is Dustin Payne. Back to Bart Manson, who's yet to hit a shot, although the Bison lead it 19-14. We're in the first half, 8:15 remaining. A low-scoring game, tempo controlled by North Dakota State. We have yet to have a transition bucket by the Sioux. This might be their first one. Gardner, he muscles it in. Goldseth knew all along he was going to have a trailer.
He knew all along, but it seemed as though he kind of was hesitant a little bit, though, wasn't he?
Brick. Manson's very cold. Torrey Harris. And that's about staying with the play. Tom Billiter all over the official on the near side. He wanted a call inside. Gardner against Hartman. Bergman, he was fouled and fouled. Boy, Bergman has got a real nice feel for the way that ball comes off. He's got nice anticipation.
You know, and he's so new.
Watch how he follows this.
Okay, here we go with Gardner with the shot, and but I don't know if he wanted to. I guess he did. He wanted to put that shot up.
Brian Sand, this will... Johnson to Bergman, nice reverse.
They're still trying to get it inside. Bergman will provide a little more scoring touch than David Robertson will.
Manson against Tuttle. Hartman. And that's going to be a foul on Todd Johnson. Hartman did a great job that time. As soon as he got the ball, he was going to the iron. There was no hesitation.
The move from Iowa State to UND for Bergman was a big one, and he's gradually settling in.
It's taken a while. You know, anybody that comes in the middle of the semester, it's tough, because especially when the coaching staff sees things that I can contribute to this team. So they wanted to get me ready and learn the system so they could, you know, get me in the games as quick as possible and get some experience.
Redker from the south side of Chicago spent a year at a Division II school and
shots all night long. When they had to make them, they're making tough drives like that. Gully's all over him, and he scores. He pulls the ball back, Deers does, and scores. And here's the bright spot that we had. Mike Bergman, who is our transfer that came in, really had a nice night, showing some of the things that we were confident and capable that he could do. And he got off to a great basketball game for us and gave us some opportunities to win that ball game. Now, we're going to spare you of any more highlights because we didn't have a whole lot of them. But he found Travis, and now here we go with the beginning of the Mike Bergman show. We were in still a rather close game at this point, but now we put a little run together, and Mike Bergman goes for 9 points during this little run, and he's excited. And look at Jake and the rest of the guys on the bench. That's the energy part that our guys are delivering to one another, and it's really picked up our level of playing. Bergie's having fun right now. I mean, he is dunking the ball and making things happen. Dave Redker comes in, finds James Baird. James gets control of the ball, goes up, and he might even have a big three-pointer for us, and that gave us our lead. That put us up 16-14, and we never had it after that. Mike Bergman up fakes the guy. He goes up, he drives under, and hits the jumper. So he has both the perimeter skill to shoot it and the ability to drive to the bucket. Again, Ben Jacobson getting the ball where he needs to get it, and that's the inside position.
Three maneuvers.
Tries to bank it home, and Mike Bergman is there. Burke Barlow into Gardner. No!
In a little too tight. Had the right idea.
Crowd was ready to explode there as Griffin swishes home. Two more.
Nice touch, Griff. The thing there is he's got to go right to that free throw line and do his fade. He's so tough that way.
8 for Griffin now. Bergman for 3.
Man, when you got a 6'7" guy shooting threes.
It's exactly what Rich said. He can shoot outside. He can drive in for you.
And what was that, maybe a 5-second possession?
Yep.
I mean, that's where your shots are going to come from, quickly.
Now Griffin from the corner, in and out. Hartman hit by Dulce.
Notice Griffin's shot that time. He didn't dribble the ball. Maybe.
2 threes now for Ross Manson. Gardner with the move. Short on the shot.
Look
Battle
at
for the
Bergman.
board. Look
Get
at
after
Bergman. Yes, indeed. And the possession arrow goes to the Bison. In front of a full house at Islip Sports Center. Last home game for UND in the regular season. Jacobson into Johnson. Double team. But Bergman's open.
Got a nice touch. South Dakota got a share of the conference tonight with their win over Northern Colorado, 65-45.
8 points for Mike Bergman, whose last game with Iowa State was against the Gophers. Got to play in that blowout earlier this year. Griffin hits it.
I don't know, 640, 13 points. Is it within reach?
This is the Sioux Bison game. Anything can happen. That won't count.
They're going to call Johnson over the top. Behind Sand.
That's the third on Johnson. Mass substitutions for the Bison.
I'm hungry.
Bison have yet to miss a free throw in this second half. I jinxed him.
Nice
Here comes
move.
Bergman. Here's Johnson, but Ross Manson with the foul.
That Bergman, he's got a quick first step. I mean, he went right by Hartman. Watch him. He gets that ball right there. He's past him. Nice pass.
That's what Rich calls one of the flashes of brilliance that he's seen from Mr. Bergman this year.
Well, he's got a great first step. He's got a great outside shot. And he's 6'7". They're not going to let Lingo come in yet.
Jeff wanted to come in, but they're ready to shoot it at the line with Todd Johnson.
Meteorologist Mark Larson near Fargo.
We'll get to the weather later. Now Lingo can go. Missing 20. The Bison missing 10 from the field. But it doesn't matter because on the scoreboard it's 77-65. Todd Johnson, who scored 19 in the last game, only has 3 tonight. The Sioux haven't really needed him, and the pace hasn't been what we had in the first half.
Look at the Sioux. They're spreading this thing out.
Bergman with room to operate.
Oh.
And Bergman hits double figures with 10.
Wait till Rich Glass works with him on the offseason. You know, he just showed up and started playing.
Griffin, this is a two-pointer, in and out. Story of the night for NDSU.
Both games.
.4 edge, 5:15 to go. Jacobson with some spinning moves, but nothing to show for it as Payne hauls down the rebound. Ross Manson to Griffin, driving in and up short on the scoop. Bergman grabs that one. Glass again directing traffic. Wants to run that clock down. 4:50 left. Four corner here.
You know, this is a good time to work on this offense coming into the postseason. Now, he could continue to have the same kind of tempo, but you do have to use this in the playoffs. Right. If you're in a close game and you're trying to milk the clock.
Goldseth doesn't get three, gets his own rebound, but he throws it away as Johnson couldn't hang on.
There's just a big difference between Roundhouse is doing a much better job offensively, moving the ball and getting people moving. Now let's watch this possession here by UND and see what kind of ball movement they get.
And not only did the Sioux put Bergman in with the ball, but Tuttle as well. A long three for Goldseth, and that won't go. Bergman the rebound, that doesn't go. Missed opportunities, leaving Rich Glass shaking his head. A long three for the Huskies, and that's no good by Chad German.
German, I mean, he's an unguided missile when he gets a basketball. I mean, he'll shoot from anywhere.
Sioux getting ready to put Bert Barlow into the game.
You hear the UND coaches saying, move, move.
Lob inside, Goldseth double team, tries to throw it out, but he's out of bounds.
Gully seems a little frustrated right now.
And that's not a good sign for the Sioux. 11-7 St. Cloud with 12:14 to go in the opening half.
You get the feeling that this game is so typical of the way the season has gone for UND. You know, they're a much better team than St. Cloud, but for some reason they're just not starting well.
Nothing but net for Chad German.
Yeah, he can pop it.
6-point Huskies lead. And this game is looking a lot like the last one in Grand Forks, where the Sioux trailed until about 4 minutes to go. Oh, what a play by Bergman.
Really nice. He waited for the pass, saw the baseline, took it, and did a little reverse.
13-9 St. Cloud State.
Look at that.
Nothing that time.
Well, Robertson knew that kid was either going to shoot it or he's going to come down low with it.
Barlow going in. Bergman, three. Oh!
We're talking about a 6'7" guy who's just come off the bench and scored 5 points. And that's exactly what Rich Glass wants. I mean, when you got a 6'7" guy out shooting the three, I mean, how you going to block that? Not in this league, you're not.
Oh, Sharnowski has a shot there and makes it.
Robertson overplayed him, but they've been really playing behind the post players so far in this game, so they got to vary their defenses a little bit.
But that's what makes Bergman so dangerous. He can hurt you inside, hurt you outside. 15-12 Huskies. As Barlow loses control. And it's going back the other way. 10:44 remaining in the opening half. St. Cloud leads 15-12. And you are watching the NCC 8 tournament live from the Sioux Falls Arena. If your seat shot over Gardner won't go. By Springer, and here's Tuttle. Now Bergman, 5 points off the bench already for the Iowa State transfer. Gardner returning to the Sioux lineup. Now Bergman out to Barlow. UND's 2 freshman guards. Let's see if Goldseth can get his first points, but no, he puts it through the hands of Bergman.
Gully's just not in a groove right now. But it's early, you know, 10 minutes remaining, first half. It's only a 3-point game. The last thing you want to do is get frustrated, but I will say St. Cloud looks a little bit more aggressive on both ends of the floor. They're playing loose.
Springer tries it again. This time he hits.
That's a blue-collar bucket right there. I mean, he looked ugly going up. I mean,
and it's a 5-point Husky advantage. Tuttle thought about it into Gardner. No.
They're getting one shot at the bucket, Pat.
Brown with the board. Ward brings him down. Inside, Gardner recovers. And here come the Sioux. Oh, Bergman back to Gardner. Oh. Hello.
Nice pass, Bergman.
Oh.
Bergman has come to play today.
He's the difference for the Sioux.
Well, he is. He's come off the bench. He's hit a 3-pointer. He's hit a bucket inside, and that assist, I mean, that kind of stuff sparks a ball club.
Dave Retker getting set to check in for
North
Dakota.
Defense.
That was German again on the trigger. The wild thing. Goldseth over to Tuttle for 3. And this game is tied.
Butch Raymond, he's seen enough.
Just like that, it is 17 apiece with 8 minutes and 55 seconds to go. And you are